What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, a lot of trades have been surrounding the team lately. They picked up Patty Mills. They picked up a few other guys in between, and the Clippers have been trying to make some adjustments, trying to add to the team and make, things work, add some pieces that they think can actually help and, put things in place. As they see Bogdanovich is I would say that's a big trade for the Clippers, even though I'm not sure how much it's going to work out. But I do think there is a possibility it can. I'm just not sure. I guess because I like Terrence Mann so much defensively and what he brought. And then I still like the fact they had somebody like Bones that can come off the bench and provide a spark for him. But they wasn't using Bones. Ty Lue just wasn't using him. And I think, Ty Lue just really didn't see a vision with him like that. And I thought maybe the vision would clear up or maybe, come to the point where Ty Lue would look at Bones and say, hey, I can implement him here in certain spots where he can give our offense a spark, when I see that our offense is flailing a little bit, and allow him to come in and insert himself and get himself ingratiated with the team more and better. Same thing I thought maybe they were going to do with PJ Tucker at one point as well, when they went out and got him also. But they didn't, and it just didn't work out. So that is what it is. But here lately, the biggest, or I would say the biggest trade they've made, but maybe one of the biggest trades they made, maybe a match made in heaven. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to see it at the moment. But Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is not much words for him, Guys got all the talent in the world, always had all the talent in the world, always have been a point guard that I thought that would literally change the game almost. I mean, almost like a LeBron-esque type point guard I saw him being, or Magic Johnson type point guard or something like that. He's 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's basically a point forward. We all know about Ben Simmons. We all know about the Philadelphia days and then the Brooklyn days and, the minor Brooklyn days that he's had. And he hasn't had much outing, lately. He hasn't shown much and hasn't looked great over the last few years, hasn't been available over the last few years, basically. And he really just lost his traction. He was somebody that I thought coming out of college would be, one of the top players in the league by now, several years in, because his talent was different. His bag was different. He had the ability to be a power forward playing like that in the forward position because he's big enough. He had the passing ability of like a LeBron or Magic Johnson, and his defense was top notch. I think he was like Defensive Player of the Year one year, or at least a nominee for it, from what I remember, when the last year or two or something like that when he was on Philly. So we're talking about a guy who's immensely talented, a guy who has a lot of talent in his bag. And if the right team or right coach can get it out of him, the positive side, I do think Ty Lue can. I really do. I don't know why I believe that. I think it's a wild card. I think it's an iffy type situation with Ben Simmons because you really don't know what you're getting with him on a consistent basis, and just based upon who he has shown himself to be, for the teams he's played for. And maybe this situation is more ideal for him because him signing with the Clippers after, I believe, a buyout from the Nets, maybe he's looking at it from a situation where he can ingratiate himself with great players like Kawhi, like James Harden, who can help him find himself and get the best out of him. And I think if he's able to actually find his niche, so to say, with this team, they got another big man, basically. They got another rebounder. They got another passer. And they got another guy that's immensely talented. And honestly, if he plays at his maximum ability, somehow if Ty Lue can get that out of this kid, the Clippers could really be dangerous if they get the maximum ability out of Ben Simmons, because we know like I said, he's really good defensively, always has been. He can handle the ball, go from one end to the floor to the other. He can score when he's really locked in. He can score a lot more than he was doing when he was on Philly. He's really a monster if he really puts his mind to it. He really would be unstoppable if he really put his mind to the game and stay focused and somebody can help drive him in that direction. And like I said, Ty Lue, I believe he's the type of coach that can do it. I believe Kawhi Leonard can encourage him to do it. I believe being around the greatness of Kawhi and him knowing how great Kawhi was when Kawhi helped, I think, put them out of the playoffs with that shot a couple years ago against Philly when Kawhi was on Toronto. He knows Kawhi's greatness. He's seen it firsthand, seen him win championships. And then, of course, he knows the greatness of James Harden, too. So, I mean, I like the team. I like what they got. Like I said, he adds more defense to them if he's engaged. I don't know how much he would do offensively for them. That's the only part I have a little pushback on because they're going to need offense from him. They're just going to need that. They can't have him going out there being a defensive guy, passing the ball, and not really trying to look for his shot and score. That's just not going to be able to happen. That little incident or, time he had in Philly where he was, denying himself of scoring, they can't have that. They need the best out of Ben Simmons if they're going to make this work. And really, to be honest, this is probably his last shot in the NBA. If he doesn't make this work, the Clippers, I don't see a lot of Ben Simmons ever in the NBA after this. I didn't see much of him really on the Brooklyn Nets, to be honest. But I'm just saying after this would pretty much be the last straw of, his career, I think. I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest. Like I said, I'm really up and down with this one. I'm really like in the middle with this one. I'm not really too high, too low. Because I know his ceiling, which really is no ceiling, because, he has that much talent. But I know his downside, like everybody else has seen, the downside or the negativity that comes with him. So, when you look at those two aspects, you're more likely you're going to be stuck somewhere in the middle with this kid, or you're going to be like, no, I don't want to take the chance. But I'm at least stay, level-headed with it and kind of stay in the middle, somewhere in the middle, be neutral with this situation because, like I said, I can see him bringing a lot of good things to the Clippers if he plays the way he knows how to. And like I said, with Bogdanovich, another shooter, he can defend pretty decent. Bogdanovich himself, you got another shooter in Patty Mills, who is a champion also, who's won a championship with Kawhi. And then the perimeter defense they have in other players, along with Kawhi being there and James Harden being James Harden and Kawhi just being Kawhi, this could be a very dangerous team. Very dangerous. Hey, I'm not going to say much. You guys leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And as always, we'll talk about it.